Wow. All right, everyone. Everything's changed. In one day, everything's changed. I'm going to go ahead and start out with the Dow Jones and Transportation Average because coming in today, there was absolutely no warning signs that we were about to sell off like we were, except for we already knew about the biotech weakness. We realize, all of us in the chat room, we have a lot of very intelligent individuals in the chat room from different areas of the stock market. One works for a wealth management firm that runs 401ks. Another one is a head prop trader for a hedge fund in California, for instance. Another one trades full time, was a very successful businessman, et cetera, et cetera. We've all come to the conclusion that we had warning signs leading into today, but nothing conclusive that would have let us know that we were about to suffer the worst day for my margin account in 3 years, since 2012. I lost double digits today in my margin account. I have not done that since 2012. So that's a byproduct of being fully invested in a market where everything was uptrending going into today, and all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. Worst part about today, it came on no news, no catalyst, making it worse than anything else. The only thing in hindsight that I could look of is see that the Dow Jones and Transportation Average never was able to hit new highs, while the rest of our markets were hitting new highs. If we look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, you can see we hit new highs in February. If you're a Dow theorist, that means you want to see the Transportation Average do that too. It did not. So while all the other indexes were hitting new highs, they were doing it on low volume, which I've constantly bitched about, like I have every rally attempt. But I've been really adamant about it, but also at the same time didn't give a shit anymore because it's been too many years of trying to care that it's just stupid to care at this point. Caring is dumb anyway for someone like me, so it doesn't matter. But the rally from October to now has just been shit, with shit volume the entire way. So we've always been complaining about that, okay, leading into today. Not a big deal still. There was nothing hinting, looking at this NASDAQ chart, that you were about to get what you got today, which was almost a 3% sell-off, 2.4% basically, on extremely heavy volume with no news. That huge volume spike today is coming in the middle of the week on a Wednesday on no news. So it's a big, big, big deal. And it didn't just do that in the NASDAQ. It did that in the Russell 2000. It did that in the S&P 500. So not only are you selling off on the heavier volume, but you're doing it on no news. And you're doing it with the Dow Jones Transportation Average, not confirming a Dow theory new high signal in the Dow Jones Industrial Average in February, and now breaking down below the most recent support. So this is ugly. And across the board, the relative strength line of this thing just continues to weaken. My one bullish point the past few days while it was looking iffy is that the Russell 2000 looks so strong. But following today's sell-off, holy shit, things have changed. That's a gnarly sell-off. If we look back in October before we started to sell off, we had warning signs. We were kind of going nowhere and had a lot of like open, higher, close, lower days. Then we took below the 5,200, tried to bounce again, and then we start selling off. Here when we roll over, it wasn't really a surprise, but it didn't really pick up speed until the very, very end, which is good. And whenever it happens near the end of a downtrend, it's like, okay, that's probably a climax sell-off and we're going to probably bounce. But when it starts at the very beginning, it's pretty crazy. And what sucks is that this time around, we had sentiment on our side with bulls very low in the AAII survey, and the NAIIM survey of the I forgot what it is called. Whatever. It's about how whoever this damn survey follows, it shows how much I really care about it. It tracks how invested they are. And at some point, some of these people were up to 200% invested. A month ago, they were like 100% invested. But going into last week, they were only like 60% invested. So it seemed like if we were going to rally and shoot the new highs and overshoot the upper trend boundary lines of the trend line that we've been in for the past few years, this was the time to do it, get parabolic, get some awesome parabolic climax sell signals like we got in the SPR, and get the hell out with some huge gains before we actually do sell off. Looks like we're not going to get that now because it looks ugly out there. Yeah, I tell you what, another thing we couldn't do to add hedges. Why would we add hedges when we're nowhere near overbought? We're nowhere near overbought on that most recent move back to new highs. Our oscillator stayed about mid-range. Same with the Russell 2000. Why am I going to short that? You wouldn't short that. You would see this as extreme strength until today, and now it's extreme weakness all of a sudden in one day. So our market models, what I'm trying to get at is switching to a neutral signal operational mode across the board. The Dow Jones and transportation average, a move below the 200-day moving average. This is under a sell signal. But as you can see, all the other indexes, you know, they're not looking that great either, but they're not looking that terrible. So what we want to see tomorrow, what we need to see tomorrow, is a big reversal. I don't give a shit if there's volume or no volume, but we need to see at least a 2% reversal, preferably a 2.5% reversal to wipe out the losses from the day before. I'm betting that that's not going to happen. Based on the damage I see out there in individual stock charts that we're not even going to go over tonight because I got to focus on the market. But if we do reverse and go up 2.5%, yeah, we're going to get shaken out of a lot of longs because I got a ton of sell signals tonight that I don't even have time to go over here. You got to go to the new positions page and look at them. Bottom line is, if your stock sold off on heavy volume below the 2050 or recent key support, it's a 50 to 100% sell. I'm not dinking around with 25% sells here. I do not like what I saw today at all on a Wednesday. No news, no catalyst. With biotech index looking like total shit, which was the only index that was super leading the market. And I think I'm going to be looking at the inverse, but the real estate ones, DRN, God, there we go. You know, that's now rolling back below its 50-day moving average after it refused to hit a new highs with the indexes this most recent time around. So we've got a couple of ugly, you know, leading sectors now. But the biotechs, Jesus Christ, the sell-off on huge volumes getting crazy. And what's even crazier is I see some smarter, not smart, but smarter than the average individual on StockTwits buying this dip. Now, okay, I'll admit I could be very much wrong about this, but look at this chart pattern and look at these stocks. Okay, now compare that to the previous dips. All those dips look like I want to buy them. This dip looks like something I don't even want to fucking come close to touching. Celg too. Look at all the previous dips. They weren't even that pretty in December. That was ugly too. It did work. Celg now is looking pretty ugly. BIIB has reversed that big gap up move. This is some ugly stuff on big volume. This is not the time to be a hero. We got CNCE, for instance, breaking down. You got ISIS breaking down. This is not the dip you want to buy, but yet I see so many smarter traders that I see on StockTwits wanting to buy this dip. So I think that maybe I'm not going to get my damn parabolic move higher, which would have been awesome for us. We would have made a ton of money. We were fully long in full position to really reap some huge rewards. But now we got to deal with shit like, look at AVG. It's so depressing. QRVO. Look at it one day. Think about all the gains gone. LCI. All the gains gone. 8% there. QRVO, 8% there. It's just depressing. And then look at Sonic's reversal, for God's sakes. You want to buy these pullbacks? I'm sorry. You're going to get gutted if you do that this time around. We're under a neutral condition. It's time to be very defensive here. I still have over 50 long positions in 2 accounts. I can't just sell them all. I got to play by the rules, because if we do get that huge reversal tomorrow. So here's what happens with me. I have no luck in this. I've been skillful my entire life in this market. If I had good luck, then I probably wouldn't have lost money in 2011, 2012. But I don't have good luck. I never have. I never will. It always seems to be that I have to work my ass off, and skill then takes care of itself. But I tell you what, knowing my luck, if I go wholesale and sell everything in my accounts tonight, we do have that 2.5% reversal tomorrow. If I sell nothing in my accounts, we crash another 5% tomorrow. So I'm going to let everything work out. Maybe we're only up 1% or down 1% more tomorrow, or maybe it's an inside day. Who knows? But the bottom line is that it has gotten ugly really fast. When you look at Sonic, and then also realize that our new long position, for the first time in a long time, we had a new long position that immediately failed on heavier volume. Ding, ding, ding. Another red flag that longs are done here. So it's time to get defensive. We have to be careful. There is no more time to be a hero. This rally isn't done yet, but if we don't get a reversal on Thursday or Friday to close out the week, that either, if it doesn't take care of the gains, the reversal, the bounce comes on volume heavier than today's session, we're going to test the 200-day moving average. And to be honest with you, all of us that I was talking about earlier that are in the chat room that have a lot of experience in this game and are successful in different areas, as we all now trade, but in different areas of our lives, we've been successful in certain places. We're all under the conclusion that this is bullshit. We need a 20% pullback. We want a 20% pullback. it's too late. Today's happened. There's nothing we can do. We have to move on. But to be honest, now that this has happened, you raise our sell stops. It's going to take me a lot of work tonight, a lot of positions. Got to raise my sell stops on every single one. So and also we can't let gains turn into significant losses. I'll tolerate minor losses by using the low a day. Some of these positions we had it for a while, but it's time to definitely protect capital here. Even if we do bounce even Thursday, Friday, it's going to new long positions are going to be very, very hard to come by here. Be careful out there, everyone. Don't try to be a hero and buy this dip.